6. Common ground in being. For Aquinas, there is a common world of God and man, for being is found to be common to all things, however otherwise different. From one principle of being, all things have their existence. The Archimedean point in this one world of being is the intellect of man and the correlativity of knowledge and being. In Nygren's words with respect to the medieval idea of love, so the Thomistic perspective recalls a Gothic cathedral where the massive stone rests firmly on the earth, and yet everything seems to aspire upwards. Nature, thus, is the starting point, the foundation, and, as we have seen, grace does not destroy nature but perfects it. Thus, for Aquinas, the natural is inherently defective. It partakes of the nature of non-being. Hence, sin is partly at least to be ascribed to finitude. For Kuyper, the natural, as it came from the hand of God, was perfect, although liable to an ethical fall as well as to development. Aquinas substituted for the Greek form-matter dialectic not the Christian view, but a similar dialectic of grace and nature. In this tension, one or the other had to be sacrificed. For Thomism, the two foundational tenets of this system were the positing of the autonomy of natural reason in the entire sphere of natural knowledge, and the thesis that nature is the understructure of supernatural grace. Aquinas' attempt to reconcile a Greek dialectic to Christian theology created insuperable problems. The Greek form-matter motive, in all its different conceptions, excludes in principle the idea of creation in its biblical sense. The sum total of the Greek wisdom concerning the origin of the cosmos is ex nihilo nihil fit. From nothing, nothing can originate. At the utmost, Greek metaphysical theology could arrive at the idea of a divine demiurge who gives form to an original matter as the supreme architect and artist. Therefore, the scholastic accommodation of the Aristotelian concept of God to the church doctrine of creation could never lead to a reconciliation with the biblical ground motive. The unmoved mover of Aristotelian metaphysics, who, as the absolute theoretical nous, only has himself as the object of his thoughts in blessed self-contemplation, is the radical opposite of the living God who revealed himself as creator. Thomas may teach that God has brought forth natural things according both to their form and matter, but the principle of matter, as the principle of metaphysical and religious imperfection, cannot find its origin in a pure form, God. Nor could the Aristotelian conception of human nature be reconciled to the biblical conception concerning the creation of men in the image of God. According to Thomas, human nature is a composition of immaterial body and irrational soul as a substantial form, which, in contradistinction to Aristotle's conception, is conceived of as an immortal substance. This scholastic view has no room for the biblical conception of the radical religious unity of human existence. Instead of this unity, a natural and a supernatural aspect is distinguished in the creation of man. The supernatural side was the original gift of grace, which, as a donum superadditum, was ascribed to the rational nature. Man, a composite, finds his principle of individuality in matter, whereas the intellectual principle is the form of man. This means a fundamental depreciation of individuality, since, in the Aristotelian view, matter is a principle of imperfection. Thomas Aquinas seeks the principium individuationis in a materia signata vel individualis, Summa Theologiae 3:72-2, a conception that frankly contradicts his scholastic Christian view of individual immortality of the rational soul as form and substance. In order to save the latter, he had to take refuge in the hypothesis of formae separatae that were individualized by their having been created in proportion to a material body